Also, I've been putting in the work. On my body. Okay. Let's see if I can set this up. Usually I gotta hold it. Maybe I don't this time. Maybe I do. Alright. Real quick. I just want to say I've been getting a lot of aggressive energy from males. From men. Like, excessively aggressive. Like, out of context aggressive, you know what I'm saying? So I just needed to share that. Because I do my best to keep posted on the energies, the shifts, so that it like follows the story of all of us awakening and transformations and all that. Going through the whole shift, and then another shift, and then another. Oh yeah, to the point where the aggressiveness was like insane. So dude was tripping, I'll just say at work, and I'm busting my ass. Okay, helping everybody else. I get to the last person, and I'm like, oh man, they barely had any room to fit anything. So I'm just gonna go around, put the package around the other side, and come out. And this guy on the floor, supposed to be a manager, was like, you gotta get back in your truck. I mean, like, it was just, you all are spazzing out and don't even like have the awareness about it. It is crazy. It's like a phenomenon. You all are tweaking out here. Straight up. Straight tweaking. And I just look like, bro, you alright? Like, you gotta get back to your truck. I'm like, alright man, chill. Like, I basically just had to tell him, you doing too much. And when I got back to my van, he came and followed me and was like, oh, I thought that was your van. I was like, nah bro, you tripping. You are tripping. And he just kind of like self-reflected. I saw it in a moment. He was like, and just walked up. When I say like the aggression, it was just, it's uncalled for. And this same entity has came and messed with me twice already. Like, trying to be like, how about let's talk and do some more? Like, while we're clearly working. You know, just like one of those extra people that are just like a nuisance, or like just want attention or something, that just comes up and says something. It's like a child. So I'm like, you've already irritated me and like done that stuff twice. It's very childish. And then now the man rage, I guess, gets, I uphold a very divine feminine aspect, so I guess the jealousy and weirdness all comes out, and I gotta take it on, because it comes and finds me from whatever vessel, whoever channels it in, and this guy just took it overboard. I said, wow. The reason I'm telling you this is because that's all that happened. He walked off into that. I was like, and I looked over, and the other co-worker in the truck was like shaking his head. I'm like, we both looked at each other, just shook our head like that. All this to say, next day I got a text from the boss. He was like, what happened yesterday? I'm like, huh? Like, it didn't seem that big of a deal to me, so I didn't think anything happened. I just told somebody they were tripping. Another day to me. It was another regular day to me. I gotta tell somebody they tripped. And apparently, like, he ended up having to call me, and I told him, and he kind of had an attitude, for real, which I get, because like what he was coming from, but again, he was assuming. So apparently, sorry. Apparently someone at the job, not even the guy, somebody on the floor, an employee, told them that I flipped him off. Completely fabricated. Like, I didn't even come remotely close. It wasn't even that serious to even like get to that point to be like, hey. But someone spread a rumor and said that I flipped him off. Not even the guy. So I'm on my bike. I'm on my way to work. He's like, yeah, so I can't give you a shift today. I said, what? He's like, yeah, I can't have you work because we got to watch it. We got to look at the cameras and do an investigation. I'm like, so I have to lose money, turn back around, stay home because someone lied on me? He was like, yeah, like, sorry, blah, blah, blah. So I ended up riding my bike back. And I just let him know, like, I think that's messed up that I have to lose out on money and I'm getting affected over something that somebody else said when it didn't even escalate like that. Like, I was like, did the manager himself say that I did it? He said, no. And I was like, then what are we talking about here? So, yeah, he ended up calling me a little bit later and was like, you know what? I thought about it and you're right. You shouldn't have to lose out on money because I don't know. I don't know yet. And yeah, you're right. I thought about it. So I'm going to come get you and I'll take you to work. Because you shouldn't lose out on money. We'll just watch the cameras and go from there. But for now, you can come into work. I'm like, alright. So I pled my case. I guess I saved myself. But now it's been, I worked three days. I said three, maybe put them in quotes. 3 days in a row. And I'm off for the next 2 suns. So when I say I haven't slept in the past two moons, like, it's definitely got to be the lunar eclipse energy and the full moon, all that going on. And then we got the solar eclipse coming. Like, I'm laying down, but I cannot, like, rest or sleep. But I'm having, like, I've been eating a lot cleaner, a lot less. Like, even though I didn't eat that much, it's still, like, I'm getting, like, a lunch meal from somewhere, and I have leftovers. Like, I'm eating leftovers from a lunch portion the next day. So, like, that's the thing. Smoothie. Yeah, kombucha. Like, just cleansing. Doing really well. Make sure I stay on top of my water. I have this clear nail polish to strengthen my nails so they stop breaking. Just, little stuff. Let me think. Oh, yeah. And, I think I'm good, though. I mean, because I'm working, they haven't said anything. But at the same time, I'm also like, hey, somebody straight lied on me and tried to get me fired. Like, that's defamation of character. That's a charge. I need to know who said something about me. I'm going to talk to the boss about that. But for now, I'm going to tell you something else. So, and I've also seen it like mannerisms in the men. It's just very aggressive, angry. But, for example, I'm in the truck at work and I see this old man, an elderly man on the side, and he wants to walk across. Okay, and I'm like, all right, I put my hazards on, I stop so he can go across. He waits for like couple cars to go across on the other side. He looks, it's clear because I pause the traffic. I see a couple of the cars come up behind me. They follow accordingly. Okay, everybody else overstood the assignment. So this guy looks, he starts going across, okay? Now he's almost at the point where he's going to cross me to where I can go. But I look off to the left and I see this truck get off, like out of the lane we're in, and goes into the turning spot lane. So I was like, my intuition knew what he was doing, but I was like, he could be turning, but I know this dude doesn't see all of us waiting. We're literally waiting for an old man to cross the road, okay? This dude decides, I'm like, please don't do it. He decides to get over and he keeps going. Now I'm about to go and I'm like, okay, there's no way he's like going towards this old man crossing the road, sees us all stopped, okay, waiting clearly for him to go so that we can go. So I'm about to go, but he's going. As I'm going, he comes up next to me and I'm like, this dude isn't turning. He really is doing this. He's actually doing it. I'm like, So were you just gonna run over the old man? What was your plan here? Like, we're parallel. I start going. He speeds up next to me. I said, "Oh, what are you doing? You tripping?" Another one. You tripping? He starts coming over to get in my lane, but almost hits my truck. He didn't care. He was literally going to hit. He was going to hit it. I had to swerve out the way. I had to swerve out the way, or he literally would have hit the truck. I was like, what is this dude on? So I'm like, yo, you tripping? What are you doing? What are you doing? I have to, get out the way. He gets in front of me. Then he puts on his brakes in front of me and slows down really slow. I'm like, this is it. This is the end of humanity. If we've made it to this point where you're doing fuckery and it's normal for you, like, were you aware of anything that just happened, or were you just like on demon mode and decided to come mess with me? Probably, because like I said, these entities get sent through anybody and everybody. So I said, oh wow, I'm going off like, yo, what the is your problem? He just pausing in front of me. I'm like, you straight whack. Like, you trying to hit an old dude, then you trying to hit my truck, then you trying to put your brakes in front of me. What are you on, bro? So luckily, this dude's so lucky, I had to go left. He was expecting for me to just be stuck behind him because he wanted to be the douche of the day. Too bad, so sad, sir. I had to go left. So, as much as he thought he was about to do something, get in front of me and do all that extra stuff, I was like, yeah, I gotta go. You lucky, because I am the type. You want to mess around and find out? I will gladly get behind you. I'll stop the car and get out. We want to get out and do this business. It ain't nothing. I'm tired of you dudes acting like you just big and bold. But you want to tussle? Let's go. You want to dance? I'm out. Okay? I don't know what's up with these men being super aggressive, but you all need to chill out. You need to balance yourself. Holy moly. I guess you all are mad at the great divine woman aspect, because I am straight getting it. Anywho, unbothered. I guess the energy transferred over into another vessel, because I go drop off a package. Okay, I'm going to my next one, but the turn was weird. I was like, so I had to use somebody's like driveway a little bit that's on the road to just turn the truck back around. As I do that, and I promise you, these people have perfect timing. Like, I like go in just so that I can scoot out. Go in and I look and I see this same looking truck, same like color, everything, same looking kind of person, right? And I'm like, I know this dude did not just follow me over here, but it was the way he got behind me. Okay, I'm having to go out. There's 2 lanes, and there's like grass and stuff on the side. He doesn't just pull up and like stop in the lane. He pulls off into the grass, like back here, and I'm like, but like almost behind me. So I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm like, I know this dude, because it was abnormal behavior, and I'm like, the perfect timing of me just trying to turn around, this person just stops. Okay, so in my perspective, I'm like, oh, dude wants to tussle. Okay, so I start pulling out. He puts his window down. So I'm like, oh. So I put my window down. I said, are you all right, bro? He looked at me like, yeah, are you? I said, yeah, but you over here almost hitting old people in the middle of the street. Like, dude, chill out. And then he was like, and looked at me like, and then I pulled off. And I was like, thinking to myself, I like pulled off. I was like, he looked at me like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I was like, don't tell me that the same looking car, same color, same looking dude, weird behavior, stopped right behind me, just behind. I mean, it was like, it couldn't have been even more. It was the perfect storm for me to think this dude it was the same guy, plus his mannerisms. I mean, he carried the same type of energy. So I'm going to the next stop, which is like super close. It's literally, and I got to go around the corner. And I'm thinking, I'm like, dang, he probably wasn't the guy, but he looked exactly like it. So I was like, maybe I can just, after I drop this off, I'll turn around and see if I can like see his truck and tell him, like, yo, my fault, right? So I like pull in, I got the package out, I'm about to get out, I get out the truck. I turn around, I see the truck in the driveway. I said, okay, so this dude was in his feelings because I just said something. Now he's probably highly confused. He thinks I'm on something because I just told him he probably just hit some old dude, and he looking at me like, what the f you talking about? So, in a sense, my intuition was right because he was weird. And I felt like the energy transferred and he had to take it on because he was doing weird suspect activity, and you got here in perfect timing. So again, I turn around, he goes like this to like out the window. I'm like, first of all, don't ever try to summon me, especially after you just followed me like that. Whoo, with the patience I have to have. Okay, I was also like, I gotta stay professional because I am at work. So I was like, I can't, usually I would just go off, but I was like, all right, and just walk over. He just had this mean look on his face, and I was like, before he even said anything, I was like, hey, look, bro, I was just about to come find you after drop this off because the way you looked at me looked like you didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, I just told him the story. I was like, I just dealt with a dude who just did this, almost hit a dude, an old man, like, almost hit my truck, whatever. And then you came out right after, and you have the same look, like the same truck and all that. And when I say his demeanor was disgusting, like, normally when you talk to people, like, there's a misunderstanding that, like, even people suck, even though they suck, it's still like, there's like a normal thing where you'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, like, I feel you, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Even after I explained, while I was explaining, I could see the disconnect. He did not care. And I was like, the whole point of you coming over here to talk to me and mess with me is because you over here thinking I'm on some shit. So when I tell you the truth as to why I concluded and thought you were this person, he's so disinterested, and his face was disgusting the entire time I was talking. I almost wanted to tell him to F off. I almost didn't want to apologize because I was like, you know what? I did tell you if you had a problem. There's a reason why you came over here, and it was carrying the same energy. You carrying the same thing. I can see it. I'm sensing it, because anybody else that wasn't would have just been like, oh, okay, like, I feel you, like, all right, that makes sense. And he was just like, and wouldn't say anything the whole time I'm talking. And I was like, yeah, so my fault, man, like, and being totally cool, and he was just like, all right, yeah, and like starts riding backwards. I almost want to be like, and that's probably why Seth's because you got an ugly spirit too. Isn't that funny how it works? So yeah, he drove off, and I was like, gosh, you all just don't ever know how to quit. Alright, we just don't know when to end. But yeah, those are just a couple examples of like just extreme, like, what in the hell. You all definitely connected to 5G, I see. Holy wow. There's a bunch of mixed energies though. Besides that, like, I recently told you all, like, children have been like, when they see me, they're like, hi, like, waving, and it's really sweet. Especially like the little girls, they've been more dominant than the boys have, but boys have still been cool, like, they're chill. But the girls, like, have been like kind of going out of their way, just, like, waving. I know that comes with being a girl aspect too, because if I was a dude driver, they'd probably just be like, damn. Oh yeah, so I've been staying in this place for, it's probably coming up in like a few weeks. but it's 400 a week, and that's like a little more than half my check every week. So I don't even like saying the word week. I just 7 cycles of illusions. Plus side, since I opened up my IMDb and I did all casting and I opened up all my stuff, I had an opportunity. I got a casting call opportunity yesterday on the full moon and eclipse, lunar eclipse, but I couldn't make it because I was scheduled. But it was like this comedy thing, and I was like, "Aw, dang it, dang!" But it's still putting out that energy, and the fact that I even had a response, I was like, "Okay, we're moving the wheel here. We're moving it along," and that felt really cool. And then I also got an offer to be on Lure magazine, which is just it's not a big magazine, okay, not Vogue yet, but it's just to start off, and it's something I didn't expect, and I think it's really cool, and it's a start. It's supposed to be, Lure magazine is like a place where people can get exposed and seen. So I figured, oh, that'd be cool. I just had to put in my own pictures, and I still need to take professional pictures, but I just sent ones that I had myself, and they were approved, and so they're like, okay, you're gonna be in, I believe it's supposed to be the November issue. That's what they told me, because I had to like send in everything on time, so it should be the November issue, which is like, I mean, even though it's a small magazine, it's still like, whoa, hold on, a magazine? Like that's, I wouldn't have ever thought. I mean, kinda, I don't know. It's just surreal. It's like I'm going from the dream state, like Pisces state, to like the Aquarian air knowledge. And excuse you while you pollute and everything. But like going through this shift, it's been really interesting. But I can see it, like the shift from like the dreamy kind of state, right, into reality, making it a thing. And that's what I feel like we're doing, just cosmically and consciously. We're coming out of the dream state and bringing our goddess and God energy to the forefront into the reality spectrum, so we don't sound like fictional characters. So that's awesome. I also got I applied to another place, and I have an interview on Wednesday, so I was like, cool, and it pays pretty like decent, so I was like, all right, now I feel like I'm kind of in a weird space because I don't like to be stuck in cycles or loops. So like this situation, like I got rid of my car, I've been doing a bike, which also kind of limits my, income. But I was like, oh, I applied to somewhere that's literally like across the street. So it'd be perfect. I'm here like by the regular job, and then the other like, another part-time job, it'd make decent money. So I should be able to, I want to keep that wheel going. And so it feels good. Like I'm balancing this work aspect and then the side stuff. Like I'm working on a couple projects. I do like the beats, but only when it feels right, only when I feel called to do it. I don't ever force myself if it doesn't feel good or the right timing, because that's everything. So yeah, and then also just on a side note, I found this personal property stuff back in December last year, whatever, 2024, the past year. And it had to do with my first real like boyfriend, ex of like 5.5 years. And ever since he like found a new broad, I will say, the night I found out, I was like, oh, okay. Like I pretty much got kicked out of his apartment because she called, and I was just there to get clarity, like on some real, like I even had some art still up on the wall, and when I came in, there was like Post-its everywhere. I was like, oh, she's like claiming the territory. Like a couple of my things are still in here. I was like, oh, like, you're seeing someone. Like, I had no idea because we were kind of in the in-between, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was still coming over there, you know what I'm saying? So that threw me all the way off. I was like, wait, whoa. Like, so then she called while I happened to be over there and was like freaking out. I could hear her on the phone like screaming, like, what's she doing on there? Is she on drugs? I was like, how you gonna, you don't even know me, and you just, why am I over there? Am I on drugs? Oh, so he didn't tell you? He didn't tell you that we still been talking? Oh, okay. Well, he moved on and also kind of emotionally cheated on me with all this, and I knew who the girl was. But you know what? He told me, you gotta go. Sorry. I was like, oh, ooh, okay. I got treated pretty poorly, to be honest. But I didn't talk to him since. When he told me, like, oh, I even had it, like, after I left, there were only like 2 texts exchanged and then zip, because he was just like, I think I said something like, sorry, like, I mean, I did not know. I literally had zero idea. Zero. Okay? And he texted me and was like, oh, her name's blah, blah, blah. Like, she's from over here. I met her through a friend. She's at another Air Force base, I guess, or whatever. I guess I wasn't cool enough. I'm not in Air Force. He was attracted to the Air Force people, I guess. I seemed like a dumb person and graduated school a year late. Not knowing that I'd be a quantum binary code for the whole collective F a computer. Anyways, he never knew I'd turn into a goddess. Which is why I was going through stuff, because I was like, hold on, I'm going through transformation. I don't even know how to tell him, you know. It's because we were going through awakening, and you know if you know. You either going through it or there's zombie land, right? So try explaining that, you know. You're just going to sound like the crazy person. To the point where he was like trying to get a hold of my sister at the time. Was like, I think something's wrong with her. I was like, I just didn't know the word intuition at the time. I came over there because I needed to talk, and he over here like, I knew it was the girl's influence because of how she talking, how she acting. So it influenced him, and now I look like I'm a crazy person. I was like, so you just gonna act like you've known me for 5.5 years, chill as a mug, and now all of a sudden I'm just a crazy man, get out of here. Like, I was like, wow, the power, the power of people, I mean, and the power of witchcraft. I mean, this girl kind of looked like a witch, but anyways, I'm not here to judge. I was just like, she putting something on him. For me to get treated like that? Absolutely. So I was actually there. I ended up, before I left, right, because he kicked me out in that manner, I said, you got me off the way messed up. Also, it hurt because I was like, my favorite little picture thing that I had on the wall, she just has a post-it on it of whatever she felt like saying, like, I'm like, well, that was hurtful, you know. We got that together, that picture, that meant a lot to me, and it was just post-its everywhere, so I was like, ah. But basically, he had given me this pink, like, diamond-looking ring for Christmas, and I really liked it. He ended up getting it for me because I'm not a materialistic person. Like, I don't ask for stuff. I don't ask for things. Like, ooh, you have to pay my bills. I've always been independent. I make my own money. I get my own stuff. I don't need you to buy me stuff. I don't like things, actually. I'm very minimalist. And I don't care about jewelry. I really don't. So he probably knew that. And when we were at the mall, I think it was like a kiosk. It was like one of those jewelry stores. A real one, not like in the middle of the mall. Like, hey, you want to get some gold chains, dog? Not like that. It was like a real, like, diamond store. And I just happened to look. I was like, dude, yo, like, that's cool. Like, they got pink diamonds. Like, that's pretty sweet. And that was it. I wasn't over here, like, gawking over it for a long time. Like, you know, trying to, like, you know how girls do, like, trying to hand, like, ooh, I like this ring over here. Oh, gosh, it would just look so good. You know, none of that. I was just like, oh, that's cool. And then we kept pushing. But I guess he took that note, and Christmas time, I opened it. I was like, oh my gosh. I remember crying, like, you got me the ring. Oh, ah. And I've never had anything nice. I grew up brokey, okay? So, like, diamonds weren't even a thought, all right? That wasn't even in a bracket. So it was like the first, like, nice thing I got. So it was, like, overwhelming. It was a lot of things. So basically, when I'm about to leave, I took the ring off. And again, I liked the ring. It wasn't like, ooh, this is like a promise ring. It wasn't like, ooh, we're gonna get married. It nothing about that. It was just like, dude, I love this pink ring. It goes hard, okay? Even when I wore it. Like, I genuinely liked the ring itself. Just the ring. It was dope. It didn't have, like, I wasn't sitting here like, oh no, he's supposed to be mine, or oh yeah, he's mine, you know, forever, or oh, this is, like I said, it's not a promise ring. It wasn't any of that. But when I found out this information, I said, ooh. So I couldn't just leave and be left like that. I'm like, no. So I took the ring off. I put it in his hand. And he looks, and she's still on the phone. I'm like, whew, good luck with that, bro. You left me to be with that craziness? Oh, you can have it. Okay. I was like, oh, no. So he looks. He was like, oh, keep it. I was like, I look like, are you crazy? I didn't say that, but I was looking like, boy, you treated me like this. You emotionally cheated on me. You did all this. The girl that I knew about, I knew it was her, verified, told your younger brother about it. I said, you think I'm just going to be like, oh yeah, you kicking me out, all this, you treating me this way? And you tell me to keep it? Boy, what? What am I going to do with that? The energy you just exchanged, like if you told me, like, this is the whole point of why I came over. This was the whole point, so we could talk of what's going on, where we're going, you know. We could have settled this way easier, like. But no, I said, you know what? Nah, because you just made the energy exchange of this ring. Like, even if we ended this, or was like we sat down and talked and was like, hey, you know, I got a girlfriend, I got a new girl, blah blah blah. Okay. So then we could have, hey, is this okay? Like, this ring is just a ring, man. Like, if I keep this, you know, it won't mean that I'm like gonna try to come back for you or feel like, you know what I'm saying? But I couldn't do that because I wasn't given the chance, and I literally left that day a crazy person and a drug addict. And that felt very unfair because after that was the last time we talked. I told him no, I walked off. So I don't know what he did with the ring. He could have tossed it in the river, he could have tossed it in the train tracks. I don't know. But come to find out, I'm gonna catch you up now. So December, the personal property tax, right? I look, it's got his name on it and mine. I said, what is this? I guess he did. I don't even know what it is because I've never done jewelry. Oh my gosh. I haven't been sneezing at all, so it's interesting. Something's in the air. So I look and I'm like, what is this? And apparently it's like the jewelry company or something. I was like, so what, like the ring have insurance? I don't know, because again, I don't know that lifestyle in this lifetime, okay? So I was like, what, did he put insurance on? Like, I don't know what it is. It was just both of our names on it. There's personal property tax, or there's personal property. So there's like value. There's something to collect. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm like, even though this is awkward, like, it's just gonna sit there. I was like, I just found out about it. I didn't know about it until like, was this like over a decade later? I was like, oh. Okay. Well, what do I do? So I like started looking into it, and I pretty much had to like send in my info, but they were like, we need both parties to send info. And I was like, because I did not spiritually, I'm just like, I know things can carry over to the next lifetimes, and my spirit was just like, I felt the need to get this taken care of. I was like, I'm not trying to carry this into the next lifetime. If this remains on my name, because I've done all the work for my indigenous status, I was like, I cannot have anything linger on to this slave name, and it's attached to the slave name. So I was like, okay, spiritually, I feel like I'm gonna be in this loop of like a marriage of non-marriage. Like, I can never get my twin flame until I break this cycle. So I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a tough ride. I don't even know how it's gonna happen, but I was like, I'm gonna have to go for it somehow. And I was asking the universe, like, somehow make this work so that I can get rid of this, because I do not want it on the name. I do not want to go through this. Like, it even felt like a spiritual, like, place for me, even stuck right now. I was like, okay, like, I've been single for a hot second. Good reasons, happily. So-called single but full. Okay, I'm complete. I've been complete for a long time. And I ended up like giving them my info, and I had to get a hold of like a base locator. I was like, hey, can you all help me out, because I'm trying to go no contact. I don't want to interrupt. I was like, especially because of a situation like this, how it could be sensitive, and I was like, I don't know what the girl knows, you know, I don't know what's been exchanged, I don't know. But I was like, the fact that he and I still had this attachment, I was like, let's do us all a favor and snip it. So I went through a whole bunch of stuff. I sent in my info. I had to do a money order, certified mail. They got it. Apparently, it took forever. I'm like, it's been months and months and months. I'm like, it's March. I sent this in December. Like, what is taking so long? And it was in Texas. I was in Texas at the time, and I sent it to Texas. It didn't deliver till like March 11th or something. I was like, I sent that like December or January. It was January. I found out about December. I sent it in January. I was like, bro, it took that long? So it was already suspect. Then I ended up, I don't even know how, I got a hold of them, and the girl was like, oh, we couldn't find him in the system, so we sent everything back. I'm like, you all are taking up my time, my money, like, oh, what do you mean you couldn't find him? He's active duty. I know he is. My intuition just knew. I was like, I know he's still in the military. I know he's not doing anything else. I know he's still in there. I know he's still in the Air Force. So they found him, looked it up. I'm like, yeah, he's got like 12 names. Started like giving him the whole name. I'm like, he's in there. Just, I don't know what order it's in. I don't know which names he chose, but I'm going to give you every single one of them, and then you can find him in the database. And then she ended up, she found him. I was like, okay, just send everything back. Don't worry about the money order. I'm like, bro, you realize that this also costs money for me to send this mail? Like, certified mail? Okay. It can be like $14, no joke. So I'm like, well, it costing me a pretty penny here. Well, months later, I mean, I sent it in. More time goes by. So at this point, I'm like, we are coming up on 8 or 9 months deep. I was like, this is too much. It shouldn't be this difficult. I finally was like, universe, I stopped one night. I said, this feels like it is hovering over my spirit. It's hovering over my soul, like my oversoul. I was like, this energy seems like small, and I know that, you know, even this so-called entity that's on the other side of it isn't cosmically connected like I am. So I'm like, I always got to do the crazy stuff behind the scenes. And I'm like, I know I have to do this. I was like, universe, please, like, help me get a hold of him, because I was like, I'm not getting help from these people. They're not going to help me. I'm going to have to do this on my own. And I was like, this is the last thing I wanted to do, because I didn't want him to think that I was like trying to come back. And it's a sensitive subject and what it's about. I'm like, damn, man, like, I don't want to do this. Hi, bee. A bee. Man, bees have been coming around me too a lot. Like, even when I come up to work, they're like, what the bees weren't here till you got here. They come and find me. Hi, baby, I see you. So, okay, So, okay, they always try to come to me. Come to me. I'm trying to do a video right now. I love you, but I'm trying to do a video. Okay, it's probably still gonna come in here. But I asked the universe for all that, right? Yeah, you did come in here. I knew you were going to. It's okay. I love you. I love you. Oh, you little precious. Oh, goodness. You're coming to Queen. Queen Mama. Come into my honeycomb. It is a vibe, though. I got my little, same accidental. Hi. And my little Hello Kitty and my seashells and my stones, okay? Anyways. So, I know how to make a home wherever I am a home. So after I sent out this surge, like, universe help, SOS, I opened up... Little child just ran by. I open up the internet and I just type in his name. I was like, dude, I'm not trying to be stalker. I don't know what else to do. I'll tell you, I put out all energy. I was like, please, somebody help. So his name pops up and it's like an Indeed page, right? I think that's what it's called. A LinkedIn. I'm sorry, LinkedIn page. It was a LinkedIn page. And I was like, yo, no way. Is this really him? So I click on it and I was like, oh my gosh, he must have like, because there was like 2 of them, but this must have been like a more recent one. I was like, dang, he probably doesn't check the old one. He made a new one. I was like, and the timing that he made a new one was perfect timing for me to be able to reach out to him. So I was like, okay, cool. Deep breath. I was like, thank you, universe. Like, thank you. I'm just going to have to do this. So I did. I reached out. I sent him a message. And, then, well, actually, okay, I found it. I was like, okay, I'll message him the next day. I go to message him, and the profile's completely gone. I was like, what the? It disappeared. It wouldn't even let me look him up. The only one that would pop up is the old one. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I was really thinking, like, did he see? Because you could, like, see who views your profile. I was like, did he see that, like, I viewed it, and then either him or his girl saw, like, blocked me or something. I was just like, come on, yo, like, I come with such good intentions. I'm not even trying to do this. I didn't ask for this. I didn't even do this. You did. So, and I was like, if I leave it there, who's gonna get the money or what? I don't even know what it is. I'm like, it's something. I was like, but if I just leave it, I'm not giving to the government, okay? Like, we gotta handle this. So I'm like, and you did it for a reason. So, I go to his old profile. I'm like, you know what? He probably won't even check this, but I'm just gonna have to go for it. So I sent him a message on the old one. He ended up responding, and I thought the sky just broke open. I said, I have been dealing with this, and it felt like it was just untouchable, unreachable, just for 9 months. And I was like, yo. And I didn't know how he was going to respond either. I don't know how he's going to react to me. You know, last time he talked to me, I'm looking crazy. I was like, oh my God, please. And then I'm not trying to reach out. It just seems like random. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So, what's up, cuz?
What you got going on? What you doing, meditate?
Yeah, actually, and stretching. Yeah. I'm actually doing laundry too, so yeah. I've got to wait for it. About to put it in the dryer, and then I was thinking about going to get a smoothie.
I'll come back out here and highlight.
Okay. Don't feel obligated to, though. I don't ever want you to feel like just because I'm out here, you got to talk to me. Okay. I'm just saying.
No, I'm
Okay. I'll be here. So, that was the neighbor. Wavy. We become cool. You know, some of his people came over the other day too, and they were like, Z, you're cool as a mug, you're a goddess. I said, thank you for seeing me.
You don't work today?
No.
Today off?
Yeah.
How's your yoga meditation? You on the phone?
No. I was recording a story, but
A story?